The decimated old city of Sur in Diyarbakir, with its ancient city wall, lies along the Tigris River. Bullet-ridden houses are cordoned off by police, some slated for demolition, others for rebuilding. More than 22,000 mainly Kurdish residents fled the fighting in 2016 between the Turkish military and PKK militants. The ghosts still linger. Nearly 5,000 families used to live here, multi-generations, grandparents and their kids and their kids. It was a vibrant neighborhood with beautiful old buildings with incredibly old ancient details. And now that's all gone. The brutal conflict destroyed much of this UNESCO World Heritage Site's centuries-old churches, mosques, and markets. Shehuz Özdemir, an on-site construction manager, is overseeing the rebuilding.
When we first entered here, there were a lot of buildings, yet they were destroyed and burned because of the clashes. When the cleaning started, we found many bombs. Security forces safely detonated and cleared them. Now we are doing restoration work, and we are in charge of 7 to 8 projects. Over there is the Shahzadelar mansion. The restoration of one section is done, and the other section is still under construction. These buildings belong to the Ministry of Environment and Urban Planning. They are drawing up the plans for these projects. Once that is done, the restoration will begin.
The Turkish government is building housing for displaced residents who have temporary rent-free housing available or a choice of a monthly subsidy of 1,000 Turkish lira, about $260. The housing inside Sur is extremely limited, and almost all the units are located elsewhere. Vahap Joshkin, an assistant professor at the University of Dikli's Law School, says Sur is the heart of Diyarbakir, and both residents and government authorities need to protect its historical heritage.
This cannot be taken simply as an urban rehabilitation plan. This is about showing respect to the history, the culture, and the identity of the city.
Is the Turkish government doing enough to rebuild Sur, to kind of reestablish the life that was there before this war?
There has been criticism that the reconstruction plan could ruin the texture of Sur, especially with the loss of historical Diyarbakir houses. There has also been criticism that the compensation remains inadequate. I believe we'll have more clarity in regards to the rebuilding in a year. The most important thing here is to finish as soon as possible to erase the bad memories of the clashes.
The fighting erupted in Sur after the peace process broke down 2.5 years ago. After PKK attacks on Turkish forces and civilians, including the downing of a Turkish helicopter and suicide bombings that killed at least 66 people, the Turkish military responded with airstrikes on PKK positions in northern Iraq. The conflict evolved back to the 1990s, but with a key difference. The PKK, employing tactics inspired by their affiliates in northern Syria, took over Sur, booby-trapped houses, and waged urban warfare.
We couldn't even visit our loved ones in the cemetery for months. We were terrified by the sound of bombs and firing. We couldn't come here due to the clashes.
Now the sounds of bulldozers and construction crews echo through this neighborhood's skeletal remains, with hopes that this ancient old city can be brought back to life. Courtney Kealy, Strait Talk.